Peace. Kofa, G.R.O.W.T.H podcast. Wake your glass up. What is going on, y'all? Happy Tuesday. Today is June 20th, day after Juneteenth. Hope y'all had a good Juneteenth weekend. Today is Tuesday, June 20th, 2023. The time is now 7:30. Again, I'm your host, Kofa. That's Kofa, not coffee, not kufu, not Kofi, or any variation thereof. Kofa rhymes with sofa. Easy to say, easy to spell. This is G.R.O.W.T.H podcast. Growth stands for gentlemen reaching our wealth through healing. I appreciate everybody being in the building tonight. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. You saw the thumbnail. We'll get into it in a second. But, I got to give a quick old spiel. Had a good weekend this weekend, man. Father's Day fell on the same weekend as Juneteenth, man. I had both my girls with me. Went down to see my parents. Me and my pops out there had a good conversation. So this is one of the things that helped me decide what I was going to talk about tonight, because I was thinking about what I was going to talk about over the weekend when I was coming back today. I'm start going live on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7:30. So everybody that been rocking with me, I see Sean in here, I see Corey Joe, I see Broken Traditions. Appreciate everybody being in here. Salute to Jeff Spark. Appreciate you being in here, brother. So I finally decided, y'all, I'm going live twice a week. So Tuesdays and Thursdays. As far as the VODs, the videos on demand, I'm still trying to figure out a little rhythm with that, but I'll drop them sparsely throughout the week, because again, y'all helped me push to 1,000. Salute to everybody. I appreciate it. But I still need 2,000 watch hours. So even though I did all that work in May, it got me to 1,000 subscribers, but I still need to watch hours. So I'm going to be pushing it even a little bit harder throughout the month. But yes, Tuesdays and Thursdays, you can tell all your friends that you shared this with. Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, I will be live, and to look out for the vibes throughout the week. Bring it back real quick. Great conversation with my pops this weekend. So in light of that, having a good conversation with my pops, I found out that the brother, another YouTuber here, y'all all know him, super content creator, MTR, mediocre tutorials and reviews. That brother's father passed recently, like earlier last week, right before Father's Day. So I want to spend a special shout out to him, a thank you to him, and condolences, because it's rare, brother, where guys get on a public platform and talk about a positive relationship that they have had with their father, or any older black man for that matter. So thank you for sharing those clips. Thank you for sharing a piece of your personal life about you and your father's relationship. It means a lot to me, being that oddball kid out there that grew up with a father and being looked at as something weird, and me and my dad having a solid relationship even up until now. Again, man, we sat out there for a good couple of hours, man, while I smoked my cigar and just had grown man talk, man. He gave me so much game about the military and just life in general, and it just came from him just with ease, brothers. That's why I keep posting certain things about black men do this, black men need that. And to keep pushing it out, we have to normalize this conversation with us talking with each other as brothers and fathers and sons. So that's my spiel of the weekend. Like I said, had my girls. I think some of y'all probably saw the post. Being a girl dad means taking yourself out for Father's Day, because I ended up paying for my own Father's Day brunch, plus them. Then them asking me for money, listening to them talk about TikTok gossip and shit. But girl dad, what can I do? Wouldn't have it any other way, man. So I had a blessed weekend, drove down to Alabama, made it back safely home to Atlanta. I don't got no complaints. But having that conversation with my dad, seeing what MTR was going through, a couple of my other homeboys, they went and visited their pops. Some of my homeboys' dads, recently passed over the last few years, so they didn't have their pops at that point. So it was just all that, just thinking about the wisdom of black men that a lot of us have let go into the ground without soaking up that knowledge, and then turning around and seeing Dr. Umar point the finger at black men because we're the leaders of the community. Y'all know how I feel about that shit on his face. If we're the leaders of the community, that means black women need to listen to us, right? But everybody can break down the little nuances and put things in content and different things like that. They can all do that when we say black men are leaders. We need to do X, Y, and Z. Oh, we're not going to do that. I started to play the Nikki Giovanni and James Baldwin video again, but I wasn't going to beat y'all to death with it. Y'all saw it off and on over the last couple of weeks, but remember when she said, let's try it my way. And we had a conversation here where a lot of black men were just tired at that point, tired of either fighting with them, tired of fighting the system. Everybody got a fucking breaking point. And we were going through so much at the same time as a people. Then when the men said, okay, now the group of women that took the reins and raised the next few generations over the last 50 years, as Umar is going to allude to, over the last 50 years, they've raised this same group of girls, or now women, that we're supposed to deal with as men and be told what you're not going to do in relationships. But we're still supposed to give our dying breath to the community at large for something better in the future. And I've watched too many black men go to their fucking grave, all their work is for naught. Because guess what? I can't tell black women how to raise their sons. So when they raise their sons, not around men, just around some F-boys, I'm doing my best not to use the N-word. I'm trying to ease up on my cussing. I have some potential endorsements that I'm trying to work on. So, but you will. Let me go ahead. Don't forget, the toothpick is in fact. We're gonna have this conversation, but I am trying to do a little bit better. But you still gonna get Kofa. I ain't faking the funk for nobody. Shout out to Broken Tradition. We be saying faking the funk and then looking at each other like, damn, we old. But general housekeeping, should have took care of it at the top. It's okay. Y'all see the Cash App. Y'all see the PayPal. If you want to donate, that's fine. If not, that's fine as well. I'm going to keep on pushing. But do hit the like button. Take your shoes off when you come in the house. The likes are free. So hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. If I got to earn your subscription, that's fine. The work will continue. So you might as well go ahead and hit it now, because you're going to eventually work your way back, because I'm going to keep on cooking. Slide over here to the comments. Then we're going to get into the content for this evening. I hope you all had a blessed weekend. Let's see. Sean from the Shy says, good evening. Chef Kofa was good on this beautiful summer evening. You see, I got my hoodie on because it was scorching, so I had the air on in the house, but I was like, damn, it's too cold. But if I turn it off or turn it down, then it's going to be hot. And I'm upstairs in my office today, so I just threw the hoodie on because, again, the vent is right above my head. Corey Joe, what's going on, brother? You had a different name when you commented on that video earlier, and I was like, what the hell? Like, who the hell is, thank you for for commenting. I didn't realize it was you till I went to the thumbnail, and I was like, it looked like Corey Joe thumbnail, and it was you. So I guess you just changed up your name, or maybe I never paid attention to your actual @ before. Said you driving, brother. I got you. You ninja watching. Drive safe. Not Kofa, not Coop. All that. Nope. Again, peace, Jeff. Let's see. Sean the building. Broken Traditions. Broken Traditions is tuning in from the DMV area. Oh, bruh. I'm going to hit you up after the live. We're not going to be on long. I'm going to just get on this, and we got to cook real quick. But I'm not going to be on long. But we got to talk, man. I went and got a damn watermelon today from the little fresh eating market. You know what I'm talking about, Broken Traditions. Buddy, I'll hit you up after the live. Sean says she just shared it with my work nephew. Thank you, auntie. Broken Traditions, drop the Cash App. Y'all see it in the chat. And the PayPal, I appreciate it. Sean says, my dad that raised me has been gone since 1987. Miss him, but I know he's still with me. Yes, every lesson he taught you is still with you, Sean. I appreciate that. Toothpick Kofa, not macking. I'm here to bring some smoke today. Salute to Derek Gaines, brother. You said you finally called live. I appreciate it.
Down, man down. Mama, there goes that man.
So yeah, Derek, if you're just coming in, so I'm going live on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7:30 Eastern. So let's get into this content. So a little bit of background. Dr. Umar was on the Daily Wrap-Up crew. I know y'all have seen these three brothers' video. I believe they're out of New York. They've been grinding the last couple of years, just steady cooking, man. And their growth has been phenomenal. It is inspirational. Trying to get there one day. But they brought Dr. Umar in. They talked about everything from the school and all that. But y'all know I had to touch on this particular piece of blaming black men. Because what two things do I tell you keep happening? When something happens in the black community, who do we blame? If y'all know, put it in the chat for me, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. But if y'all know, put it in the chat. Who do we blame? The nearest black man and the idea of white supremacy. Because y'all know I don't like that word, but, you know, Dr. Umar might pop up.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
Yeah, Umar, I don't believe in white supremacy. I believe in the idea of white supremacy, racism, bigotry, discrimination, all that shit is fine. But when we start putting those two words together, white and supremacy, by definition, I told y'all I was woke for the sun got up. By definition, with all this conscious shit, you are spelling. You are putting something into the atmosphere to make that shit happen. So every time, black folks, that you say white supremacy, you are saying that white people are superior to you. So no amount of argument that you're talking about our history or anything else is going to take away from the fact that you said white supremacy. You are spelling. For those of y'all like Derek who just seen me for the first time, I say it all the time, brother. I was woke for the sun got up. I done read the books, talked to the different people, and been to the lectures and all that shit. So I got a little bit of say in this shit too. I done been part of the conscious community. I give my dollars to black businesses all the time. I think I got a little bit of say. But I digress. So Umar was on the wrap-up crew. I'm going to pick up where they're leading off from talking about voting. And Umar's kind of talk about black men and black women getting together and putting their votes together and looking at each other as one and voting. So I'm going to pause it probably right after it starts because you know I got a point to make being here in Georgia. If you know, you know. But let's go ahead and get into it.
Sisters to come back into the fold and say, you know what? We're not voting as women. We voting as black people. And we voting with our men. Do you know how powerful that would be?
Right.
If black men and black women stop the dumb shit on social media and say we're going to fight because we got a common enemy, white supremacy, and we're going to put our votes behind a candidate who offers to do the most for us, that would be revolutionary.
Definitely. So speaking of that,
go ahead and pause that real quick. I guess those that have been here in Georgia, like Broken Traditions, Stacey Abrams. Everything Dr. Umar said, I agree with. Where black men spoke that out, the day-to-day black man, he said you want to take it away from social media, right? Before any of this type of stuff happened on social media, we were having these conversations in our families. We were having these conversations amongst our friends groups, our peer groups, our work friends and all that. And black women were, no, you're not going to tell me what to do. I'm going to vote blue no matter who, especially through some black women at Black Women. The votes were there, even though nothing came of it. Nothing was promised to come of it. When Stacey Abrams called herself trying to support things for black men, what happened? She took a carbon copy from what she said she was going to do for black women, slapped it on the black man page, and then started adding people of color, minorities, ethnicity, those little code words. When Ice Cube tried to present the plan for Black America, it was those sisters on Fox Soul, Vivica Fox, stiff face ass, all pushing back against the brother, talking about where's the stuff for black women. Again, black women have been thinking individualistic for some time now. By default, by our hardwire as men, we automatically think legacy, family, community. Because guess what? We want shit to go smooth. Because guess who got to do the damn fighting? If there's fighting to be done, guess who gonna probably die? Us. Got to go ahead and give myself one early.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
So a lot of times black men are thinking about the family. Black men are thinking about the community at large. But I'm going to let them keep on rolling.
You know, I've seen a video of yours where you said that feminism has conditioned black women to view black men as the enemy.
It has. Feminism was financed by the CIA. Gloria, what was her name? Gloria Steinem, I think she was.
Right, yeah.
Mother of modern feminism, because traditional feminism goes back to the 1800s, right? With Susan B. Anthony and those white supremacists. But Gloria Steinem was a CIA agent. They financed her. Her first feminist magazine they paid for. The CIA brought feminism into the white household to get the woman out the house and into the black household to turn the black woman against the black man. To scapegoat us for problems caused for her by white supremacy.
So, you know, obviously, you know, a big thing, obviously, we spoke about the gender wars, you know, earlier. Obviously, there's a lot of conversation nowadays about, the value of what a woman brings and the value of what a man brings in a relationship. And now there's a lot more rhetoric from our women that we hear is, I'm strong, independent, I don't need no man, right?
That's pain speaking, though.
Right.
Because most black women know they will never get a man. A black woman can have sex whenever she wants.
Right.
Because she's beautiful. She can have a bed mate, but to have a soul mate, she may never get. I have 2 daughters, 11 and 20, right? My oldest would be 21 this week. Statistically, right? There's a strong chance my daughter could be one of those. I hope she's not. She could be one of those who never get a husband because only 1 out of 4 gets a husband. You see that? So
I'm pausing right there because I didn't know that about Umar. I knew he had 2 daughters. I didn't know their ages, but they're roughly around the same age as mine. His daughter's 20, mine's 19. She'll be 20 in 6 months. His daughter's 11, he said. My daughter's 12. So roughly around the same age. And the brother's right. But this is an interesting thing. When we're asking for cooperation from our women, when we want to throw that same stat out there and tell them, hey, 1 in 4 black women are getting married, and all we're asking for is a little bit of cooperation. Basically, check that caricature of a nasty-ass black woman's attitude, right? Can you do that for us? We get a lot of shut the F up. You ain't my daddy. Mind your damn business. You ain't my son's father. We get a lot of pushback. Now, what Umar's saying is there's a hurt element to it. That's bullshit with that fucking excuse. We are so goddamn past that. I will give that to the first generation to just have that. But now you know your history, all this information we have. We keep talking about social media, like the same Google won't take you to some black history website as it will to these different TikTok dances. So we got all this wisdom. Black women say they're leading in all this education, got these good ass jobs, and yet and still, you still hurt about some shit that your grandma might have went through. It's crazy how we can paint this picture. Again, remember I keep telling y'all, you can attach anything negative to a black man, and that shit will stick. No proof, no evidence. Just say black man, negative, da 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 da, and you know what? He might be right. Flip the coin over. Do the same thing with black women. Push back, push back, push back. You a sellout. You a coon in this YouTube space. You a beta. You a simp. This, that, and the third. But it's so many brothers out here actually doing the work. Trust me, Kofa got receipts and goddamn invoices tonight. Let's keep cooking.
A black woman says, I don't need a man. That is a reaction to the reality that I may not get a man.
So
pause for the calls real quick. Derek Gaines says, I don't trust anything he says until he builds that school. Roker Tradition said, you'll never trust him then, Derek Gaines. So he has the school. I know it's been vandalized, but it's not open and running like that. And he gave a lot of pushback to Lord Jamar and I think Rod Digger on their Godcast. I really don't know the name of their podcast, but I think it's the Godcast. And, Lord Jamar offered him some help, and Umar just vehemently rejected it, said he basically didn't need it because he already had the right people in place and things like that. But it's the way he said it that, just the level of arrogance of, hey, I know what the fuck I'm doing type of shit, blah, 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 blah. Nah, thank you, brothers. Shoot me that information. I'll see what I can do. But again, he's in these brother spaces telling them how the fuck we need to move as black men.
But wait, it gets worse.
Because he's just getting warmed up on this bullshit. Dr. Evil Genius in here. Okay, so it's all our fault. How is that going to convince black men to want to deal with black women?
Got it! Hotter than fish grease.
It's not. If anything, this brother probably set us back a little bit more. And Thursday, I'm probably going to talk about what Rebecca Lynn Pope just said too, because she just said some bullshit about black men and black women needing to go ahead and divest and all that shit. So, got to talk about that this week. I was going to hop on the father piece. I'm going to mix it in there a little bit, but I got to focus on these two because these came back to back. I think it was Umar and then Rebecca Lynn Pope said something. Get to one more comment, then back to the video. Sean says, you can only base your feelings on experiences that they experienced firsthand. This is a result of trying to wear the dress and the pants being alone.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease.
You are correct. That is going to equal being alone. Somebody else said that. Sean, it might have been you, said they're trying to wear the dress and the pants at the same time. Let's keep on cooking.
why not preach? Because I understood, you're obviously against interracial relations when it comes to black men with black women. With white women.
With all women, you should only be with the black woman.
And you will say, well, if you can't find a good woman in America, there's
somewhere
plenty
else.
in Africa.
Absolutely.
So why not teach that same rhetoric to our women? Like, if you feel
I tell sisters all the time, go to Africa. So I know sisters who marry. I just spoke with a sister. She invited me to the wedding. She just married a brother from the continent.
So, but instead of saying they will never get married,
I've taken sisters to Africa who married brothers they met in Africa.
Right.
So yeah,
I think there's plenty. I think there's obviously plenty of black men,
yes,
black women. So
and what I also tell black women, if
married,
you're going to go get you an African man from the continent,
right,
you're going to have to understand that the way in which you talk to black men in America will not be tolerated over there.
Mm-hmm. Why the fuck is it tolerated? It's not tolerated here. That's what we're trying to tell them.
Well, over here, I want to say this to us though.
There is powerful niggardry at work here.
Why we got to deal with it? So if you could take your ass, you preach it to these sisters to take their ass over to Africa. And hey, sister, just a heads up, they're not going to deal with the same American attitude. By default, that means that black American men are supposed to deal with this shit. And we're supposed to do a better job with getting berated, belittled, ignored, used, our kids taken away, the court system. We're supposed to deal with all that and not bat an eye. But you're going to skip your ass over to Africa and then get your goddamn head right. Which lets me further know that the sisters could have did that shit here and chose not to. Umar is being disingenuous. I'm not going to say this other woke ass dumb shit that people been saying, man, you're getting 100 lashes. If you so fucking woke, why do you want to beat other black people? That sounds stupid as fuck. That's some slavery shit. So no, I'm not going to be saying the 100 lashes shit. Not over here. Not in this woke area. Not in the house of Kofa. We're not doing that over here. I ain't giving you 100 lashes. I'll tell you, get the fuck out my goddamn face. Get the fuck on, man, with that silly shit. I'm so goddamn sick of this woke, pimp, pandering consciousness shit. This is one of the reasons I started to peel off from the conscious community. Why? Because the same fucking talk in the conscious community is the same talk in the pulpit, in the same talk in the preachers, the same talk in the pimps, and some of these niggas on YouTube. Now, you're going to find some truth wherever you go. So if you're going to find some truth, you're going to find some lies. You're going to find some stuff you agree with. You're going to find some stuff you disagree with. I rock with Umar, but this is some bullshit because we keep talking about the black family is the backbone of the community and women are so much ahead of us and they've been having to be the leaders and shit like that. Now they ass don't want to be the leader after they done fucked everything up and procreated with the niggas that did. Let's keep on going.
Because we try to act like the way sisters treat us doesn't have a history that we are not at least partly responsible for. Let's be honest. The black woman has had to hold down the black house by herself, although imperfectly. She's had to do it by herself since the mass incarceration of black males began in the 1970s. You understand me? Most of our children are raised by a single mother right now. And it has been that way for about 50 years. So when a sister says, I don't need a man, because she couldn't find one strong enough to hold her down. Or when you meet a woman and you say, sister, I'm strong enough to be your man. You ain't got to work or you ain't got to pay the bills or whatever. Pull back. I got you. And she can't do it because all the other men before you who disappointed her. So what I'm saying is, black men, we got to be patient with our women because we created that personality. We created that. And then we want to act like we didn't play a role.
We have to be held accountable for their poor selection.
No, you have to be held accountable. No, you have to be held accountable because they have a poor selection.
There is powerful niggardry at work here.
Let's keep going. I ain't even going to comment yet. I'm going to let them keep on lying.
See, what you're saying, you're selecting a poor mate. And what I'm saying is they don't have much to select one, so of course she's going to end up with a poor mate. And why is she going to end up with a poor mate? Because we as black men are not raising black boys to be the men that our women need. We are not.
I can't wait to drop this shit I got for y'all since black men ain't doing shit.
They out there killing themselves right now. What we doing about it? Unemployed black males, what we doing about it? Pants sagging, weed smoking, what we doing about it? Black men are not raising black boys to be the men our community needs. That is 100% our fault. What I'm saying is she got a right to be angry with us She got a right to be angry with us.
I understand
we have not been on our job as black men. If the men are the providers, what have we been providing for our community? I'm not speaking you individually.
Yes.
Because you may be a damn good father. You may be a damn good father. You may be a damn good father, but guess what? What are we doing for the community? What are we doing for the children who don't have a father? You don't think the black woman got a right to be angry when she's been raising 2/3 of the kids by herself for 50 years? And the minute she raised her voice, we say she's not humble enough? She had to become masculine to survive the rape, the molestation, the domestic abuse. Are you telling me you can't see how we created that?
I understand that, but she needs.
If we was loving our women and...
Let's not pretend a lot of this shit was a choice. It's a reason I do things for those that may be new over here. I walk timelines for a reason. I have already played that Nikki Giovanni and James Baldwin conversation. That little clip, there's a whole clip. They laughed, they kiki, giggle. They were tight back then. But that portion is important because black women took that and ran with it. She did not have to do shit. Black women of the past chose that shit. What he's talking about right now is feminist talking points. I had to be masculine. Where are the men in the community? The same men you have walked past daily. The same men you wouldn't even think of fucking procreating with. So now because your ass chose to turn your womb into a fucking breeding farm, now other brothers gotta drop what they doing, leave their families full of women, whether they're married or not. Because we all know as you grow up, when you become that man, now your ass is the mechanic. You got to go over to Auntie Cheryl's house, fix some shit. You got to go over Cousin Dee Dee's house and help her with her son. So you helping nephews, little cousins, your goddamn kids. And now you're supposed to do something collectively in the community. And there are so many black organizations out there that are trying to do, that are doing, and don't get the support. Umar should know it's taken him 10 goddamn years to open up this fucking school.
Got it! It's hotter than fish grease!
With $1 million in donations. Some of these grassroots organizations can't get shit, but the black church is balling out every other year with a new goddamn pastor at a mega church. Yes, I said goddamn and pastor and church in the same fucking sentence. We see this shit constantly. And then it's, what are you guys on the ground doing? Then when we try to go out there, when one of these young black men get killed, the women say, no, I got it. Then they co-up that shit into some damn LGBT march. They remix it as something totally different. And then when the white men don't respect them or fear them, start busting their head open, locking up black women, locking up young black boys, then it's, where the men at? We was right there. Matter of fact, we was in front of you. You told me you didn't want that. I told y'all I'm Muslim. My homegirl she asked me how it was at the mosque and this, that, and the third. So I told her, and she was like, yeah, one of my other homeboys Muslim, he was saying like the women sit in the back. I was like, yeah. She was like, of course we do. If some shit go down and bullets start motherfucking flying, god damn it, your ass don't want to be on the front row, do you? I went to a panel at I think that's the one that I went to with Damon, Broken Traditions. We was in there. I know you missed that one. That's another brother. He had like a relationship panel here in Atlanta. I went to that. I was on the panel. We discussed the stuff with the sisters. Topic came up of who needs to lead, and everybody got to talking, especially it was more women in the crowd, of course. Started talking about, well, you know, y'all supposed to be the leaders, but it's a partnership and this, that, and the third. And let me pivot real quick. When the fuck did straight people start using LGBT language? We're not motherfucking partners. People use that shit for their gay friend they've been with when the laws weren't the laws and they couldn't be openly gay. Cool, I get it. But straight people, when the fuck we start talking about partnerships? Because we ain't partners when somebody kicking that goddamn door. We ain't partners when we want to talk about 50-50. We're not partners all of a sudden. Ain't no goddamn roles until black women say, I don't want to do that.
Got it! It's than fish grease.
God damn it, had to give myself one again. I'm so tired of this trope. I'm going to let Umar keep on cooking. But I had to stop and pause that for a second because there are black men out here get none of the credit. No love, no support. The mentor program I'm going to show y'all, I'm going to discuss that in a second, but I got that for y'all. Ain't no excuses black men are out here doing. Let them keep on lying.
And taking care of our women, do you think she would be like that? That personality has a history.
If she's picking Pookie and Ray Ray instead of
you're making her a scapegoat.
No, she's picking a scapegoat.
No.
There's good quality men that they ignore.
Why she even got it? Why is there even a Pookie in the selection?
You gotta ask Heather.
No. I'm gonna tell you why there's a Pookie in the selection.
Why?
Because black men have abandoned black boys and have allowed social media, white media, athletes, and rappers to raise them. That's why she with Pookie. If we never allow Pookie to develop, she would not have a Pookie. If we're going to be men, the first thing we got to do is take responsibility for why our women feel the way they feel.
I can hear that.
I'm not saying.
Yeah.
No.
I'm not responsible for how anybody else feels. They can feel a way and then react to something, and I'm supposed to play the cleanup man. We're supposed to play the cleanup man. The solid brothers that kept their ass out of jail, worked, did volunteer. We're supposed to play the cleanup man for a community that don't give a fuck if I walk out my front door and catch a bullet in the head. I'm just another dead nigga to my own people. Matter of fact, let me calm my ass down. I'm going to pause. I'm going to pivot over here and get to y'all comments real quick. Because I heard them coming in. Stewart in the buildings. Brian in the building. Smoke and Talk. Baltimore in this thing. Let's go. Sean says, then if that's the case, I wouldn't have 30 years to a man that supported his family. Am I the exception?
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
You might be, Sean. People of your age group, auntie, are all but gone. And this is the other thing I was listening to. Those Gen X men, the 50s, 60s up there, because that's actually Gen X. Those brothers, they were, what's the word I'm looking for? Conditioned. I say it all the time. We were taught. We were conditioned. We were taught to potentially be stepfathers, ride your marriage out no matter what. Brothers in my age group, we're on the cusp of that. Remember, I just told you my personal story, how I was dealing with a crazy ass ex, and that shit could have went left. I told you another story right behind that, gave you an example of a true unsolved mystery where another brother in my age group was deleted and dismembered by his girlfriend, and she's still on the fucking run. We've watched our older brothers go through that stuff. Those of us that have survived going through crazy ass shit like that, we're not trying to be, marriage is not at the top of the list. So this whole marriage is the backbone of the black community and this, that, and the third. When we wanted to be those guys, our women were telling us they didn't need nor want us. So just to answer your question, auntie, yes, you're probably the exception. Unfortunately, at this day and age, your age group is definitely the exception. Let me keep on going. Let me grow back up. Yeah, I mean, I was in this motherfucker. Going in. Broker Tradition says, Umar on that bull. Stewart in the building says, now that was a load of bullshit. Derek says, no, we didn't create the monsters. We didn't. And that's what I'm so big on black men taking take accountability for you, brother, the decisions you make, things that go on in your life that you actually had a hand in impacting. Stop taking on everybody else shit. Because just like they say, oh, if you expect something, then that's where depression comes from. And everybody can put things into context when it's time to blame a black man. But as soon as we take the same lessons and say, you know what? I'm no longer taking blame for your shit. Bitch, you need to go get therapy. You need to go get help. You need to sort your shit out. That's not on me. Then it's some smoke in the city for those brothers like us that step the fuck away. But let's keep on going. Dr. Evil Genius says the poor selection we had nothing to do with is our fault. Wasn't even there. Now, collectively, once again, we can't tell black women shit. And this spans generations. Generations. How can I suggest, hey, you probably want to do X, Y, and Z with your son? Hey, you might not want to kick it with that dude. I'm a hater. I need to mind my damn business. Shut the fuck up. You ain't my daddy. On and on and on. And then when brothers step the fuck, how long are we supposed to fight? How the hell are you going to fight any internal war? Because that's how they took down the Panthers. Umar knows this. That's how they took the Panthers down, internally. You're fighting an internal war with your women and got to fight the goddamn world. He lost his doctor title on this.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
Oh, Derek says, that's bull. Dr. Clown. Yep. Gave him the title back just to call him Clown and then took it away. Dr. Evil Genius says, what is Umar doing about all these stereotypes himself? Also interesting because he is not with, I think he got 2 baby mamas. He's not with either woman. Go figure. KT says he paused like he said something profound.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
Sean says, then if that's the case, read that already. I already answered that. I jumped the gun a little bit. Broken Tradition says, this is disturbing. Derek says, I disagree when he lays with ninjas. When he says when she lays with ninjas, no good. They choose that. That is a choice. I'm gonna keep on going. Brian says they can't hook up with nothing but Pookie and expect to be a good man. They want Pookie to act like a good dude. Then the good dude is supposed to be accountable for showing Pookie how to be a good dude and picking up his fucking slack. And then when Pookie turns the corner later on, this is where you hear a lot of guys, I had to mature as a man. When he turns that corner later on, then this woman looks at like, hey, look what my pussy did. I put it on him and he changed. Where's that lead to solid, brother? Out in the wind. And you wonder where you get passport bros. Once again, more woke shit. Since I got to come out my goddamn bag. Y'all know that only 3 to 6% of those damn slave ships came to America, right? We do not own a monopoly on slavery. The blackest place outside the continent of Africa globally is Brazil. And you wonder why brothers is getting passports. There's black folks all throughout the world, but specifically in the islands in South Central America. You wonder why brothers are getting passports. And y'all listen to this shit like this, and Kevin Samuels tried to tell you. He was having a conversation with a sister, and since you don't like how I talk, who do you think would be a good representation to speak on black relationships? She said Dr. Umar. Kevin went in. You can have all that honey gold, sea moss, queen, mother earth, all that shit. What has it yielded? Y'all are listening to pretty words, and you're still not married because you still don't want to follow the leadership of a solid black man. You'll deal with a dude who know how to scheme and fucking scam, but God forbid a brother get his ass up, go to work for 20 years, and got a pension and then paid off a house for you.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
Let me keep on going. Umar trying to get another wife. Is the brother married? He said, play the clip of Nikki Giovanni. I'm gonna circle back to that. I gotta find it real quick again too, but I'll circle back to that. I'll look for it while this plays, but let me get through these comments because y'all was in here cooking. Stewart says, I get Umar's line, but he doesn't understand or pretends that he doesn't understand is the depths to which white supremacy has poisoned the black female mind. We talked about white supremacy, Stewart. I don't like that term, but I understand what you're saying. The idea of racism, white supremacy, and Totem and things like that. Because he's gonna speak on that, the history of it and how we just need to deal with it. That's what he was just saying, that we need to be patient with our sisters. How fucking patient? I'm 41 years old. Another conversation I had with my parents, I was laughing. I was like, Mom and Daddy, you know what? I'm old. I'm middle-aged. My dad got a kick out of that shit. My dad's 77. He got a kick out of that. You old? Yeah. Pop, I'm old. I'm middle-aged. I'm halfway where you at. Ain't that wild? So how long am I supposed to deal with this shit? How long are you as a man supposed to deal with this? How long collectively are black men supposed to deal with this? Again, we've been hearing this stuff from our women since we was little boys. We literally grew up to be brothers that doesn't want to be the Pookie or the Pookie or Ray Ray. Then we go out there, make every attempt not to be that guy, get overlooked, not chose, thrown away, laughed at. And this is my big thing with laughing. When black women are clowning brothers and we all kiki and giggling, oh, he a sucker, oh, look at him, he mad, oh, he's so triggered. That shit, people laugh at things they get pleasure from. Remember what I just said. People laugh at things that they get pleasure from. So while we kicking these brothers and kiki and giggling about him building himself up because he doesn't have a certain amount of money at a certain time when you think he should, you're getting pleasure watching a black man hurt. You're getting pleasure watching a black man struggle as he's doing the work. That's why I keep talking about fucking work ethic. My work ethic got me through. Another part of the conversation that I had with my pops. Thanked him because I get that shit from him. Told him he didn't know that shit, but I used to get up when he got up when I was a little boy. When he would get up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, I used to get up and watch my dad get ready for work. Peek around the corner sometimes. If I heard him getting up, I got up. Just to peek around the corner. I know everybody ain't religious. First thing my dad would do was he would go on his run, then he would come back, and then he would get on his knees and pray. So it's plenty of us that done seen shit and then tried to share that with the community. The community gave us their ass to kiss. Get back to the comments, then we're going to pivot over to the, go back to the video. Stewart asked question, and it's black men's responsibility to fix that? Fuck no, it ain't. It's only so much we can do, bro. Sean's, that's that one again. Dr. Evil just says, another wife? He hasn't married any woman at all. Sean says, preach the real. I appreciate you, sis. Y'all know I usually have music in the background, but I really wanted to focus on this video today. I know it's kind of dead in here. That's why I'm trying to talk a little bit and run through these comments. Dr. Umar not buying a school because King Randall started a school with a lot less. Yep, I watched some videos on that earlier. Dr. Evil Genius says it's a partnership when it comes to enjoying the rewards. It's male leadership when times are difficult. God damn it.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease! Than fish grease here.
Since we're the leaders, why aren't our women following? By default, you cannot tell me that I'm the leader and want to blame me when things go left. But you're the follower, not doing what the fuck I told you to do. And if I got to go pick up the slack and things go right, I'm supposed to give everybody credit. If you don't kiss my ass on both cheeks twice. Broken Tradition says that's a partnership. That partnership is what got Breonna Taylor killed, but I digress.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
Ain't even going down that rabbit hole tonight, bro, but you're correct. Sean says, I had a husband, not a partner. What the fuck they think this is? Squared?
You go, girl!
Oh, let's see. From this, Umar will be crowned king of the SBE movement. What is the SBE? You gotta drop that. I don't know that one. Rational Primate in this thing again says, what the fuck? She's an adult. Truth told. Let me see. Brooke just said, Dr. Evil Genius, why did she go to the door with her boyfriend that night? I would never have my lady go check the door for me.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
I'm going to keep on going. Derek says, I have to talk to young men all the time about being a man and choosing the right woman. I talk to my daughter about the same thing. Yes, I do the same thing. What in the world? No. Okay, hold on, y'all. I got to log out of something. Did it freeze? Y'all drop a one in the chat if y'all can still hear me. Because it said there's an error. So I might have to close out of something. Let me close out of this. I'm going to close out of Chrome. See if that helps. Y'all drop a one if y'all can still hear me. Yeah, Derek says he has to talk to young men all the time about being a man, choosing the right woman. I had to talk to my daughter about the same thing. My daughters get schooled all the time. Okay, I'm good. I'm glad y'all can still hear me. All right. Mr. Donnie Mack says, this is embarrassing.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
Derek Gaines says, I'm 53. There was a time when the neighbors would check you, then tell your mom and dad. Now it's not like that. We have lost our sense of community. I will give Umar that. But again, you can't solely blame this on black men. It is several brothers out here been doing what the fuck they're supposed to do and get no goddamn credit. Let me see. All right, yeah, those are the ones. A couple more comments, then we back to it. I was talking about white supremacy, not black black female fuckery. I know that's why I was saying, Stuart. Maybe you missed it because I say I don't believe in white supremacy. I believe in the idea of white supremacy. The reason why I say I don't like the word white supremacy, put them together, because by default, when we keep saying that, think about it: white supremacy, you're saying that white people are superior. It's like an admission, white supremacy. So when we say the idea, because they motherfuckers think they're superior, is why we got this shit going on. The racism, the bigotry, the several other words, all that stuff. But I don't personally like, use what you want, but I don't like the words white supremacy being put together, because again, woke Kofa, we're spelling. We're putting it out into the atmosphere, right? But that's just me. That's just a Kofaism, Stuart. KT says they love schemers and scammers, but let a brother have structure and order. That's where they draw the line. Exactly.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
Knocks down another 3-ball. This guy is hotter than fish grease here.
Take this down. We're going to keep on cooking.
That they're right to disrespect, because even if a woman disrespects me, right? That still don't give me a right to disrespect her, because she's still the queen of the community. Even if she's not acting like it, I'm going to give her that respect. But when I hear brothers talk like this discourse we having now, we act like we don't understand.
No,
there's reasons for that shit.
I do understand. Women are so valuable. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think women ground men and help them, propel to the next level. I think men get further in life with a woman, right? But if I'm a hardworking man, but I'm only looked at as resources,
okay,
and then she's ready to jump on Tom, Dick, and Harry because he got flash, he's shining a little bit more, his access to money is quicker than mine. It's kind of hard to have that.
Well, no, one, I agree with you, but that's not all sisters.
No, it's not.
If you're constantly running into that type of woman, then the problem is you, because you're attracting a certain low vibrational energy. Why
not have that same energy for women? You just again, you held the man responsible. Because we having a conversation
as men.
Yeah.
I got plenty of interviews with all women where I check them too.
Right.
But as a man, you should not be concerned about what I say to them. No. As men, we should be concerned of what we're going to do to produce a better generation of black males for tomorrow.
Pause it right there. You notice he said that, hold on, let me read this comment on the screen, Dr. Evil Genius. I think I lost it, bring it back up. Remember when that woman said Michael B. Jordan wasn't good enough because he looks like he knows where his birth certificate is? That's black men's fault too. They're making these choices, bro. Y'all know it. But let's look at what Umar just said. You guys, you three grown-ass black men, we're talking as men. You don't need to be worried about what I told black women. You see that pivot of control real quick? Now, I get to tell them how to move and how to think and what they need to be doing and hold them accountable. I do. You don't. I get to hold all you Negroes, you men, accountable for not helping the community. I just want y'all to peep that real quick. You see how he pivoted? Because the young brother asked a question. I don't know these guys' names. Matter of fact, I'm going to try to hop on their live. I think they go live at like 10:30 tonight to kind of open up the phone lines to discuss this very thing. But it was interesting when he gave him pushback and Umar keeps jumping in with your fault, your fault, your fault, your fault, your fault. Now imagine being told this as a young black male, which most of us have been. We've been constantly told that it's our fault, we're the problem. So for brothers to try to step outside of that realm and be a better black man, what benefits has it resulted in? Because women will tell you, If I don't want you, then I don't want you. There's nothing you can do. I'm going over here and choose him. Umar's arguing, why does a Pookie exist anyway? I don't give a damn what colloquialism you use for your race. Everybody has some level of a Pookie in their community. White folks, Indian folks, lowest of the low. Low thought process. So they're going to exist, period. So this whole manufactured Negro idea is some bullshit. That's one of the reasons why I say I don't like the words white supremacy. So by default, you're saying that these white people, again, are superior because they made you act like a nigga. You got all this wisdom, but it's black men's fault because we chose to act like that, but black women get a scapegoat because of white supremacy let them off the hook. It made them do it, so you know what? They get a pass. You just choosing to act like a damn fool, black man, and you choosing not to be there for your children. How many times can we say that black men are the most involved fathers? How many times can we say that black men marry black women damn near at a 90% rate? And it's still falling on deaf ears. Umar's arguments sound like a lot of these women out here. I know you did the right thing. That ain't enough. Let's keep on going.
That's the only that is where we should be focusing.
Women bring the choice of life, right? We understand that, right? I can't have a child unless a woman agrees.
And she can't carry one if you didn't put it in her.
I agree with that 100% too, right? But whether or not, if you want that child or not, she can still make that decision. It's only up to her.
If you don't put a seed in her, nothing else happens. And no woman can make you put a seed in her. So the original act was the responsibility of a man.
True. I mean,
all right. So, did black men willingly leave the household, or was it the system that was?
It was systemic.
All right. So, how if we giving them grace for them having to do it without us, but it wasn't our fault? Okay. How are we not getting that same grace and that same respect?
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Because black men, as the leaders of the community, now
we can't be leaders.
Here's the question we got to make. That? Here's the question. Because the argument y'all make, feeds into the feminist agenda.
Okay.
It's an argument that says, I don't want the responsibility.
I'm a leader.
I don't want to fix shit. Right? Mm-hmm. I'm going to fall back and let her run everything. That's what the feminists tell. They say, look at them, making excuses for why they can't be better men, making excuses for why they can't make better men. You understand? Your argument feeds the feminist narrative. That's
not what we're making excuses for.
I'm saying I am the better man, but I shouldn't be held responsible because you wanted to choose a Pookie and a Ray Ray. That's not me. I worked too hard in my life.
I'm going to go back to what I said. Pookie and Ray Ray shouldn't exist. And the only reason why Pookie and Ray Ray exist because we're not in the community making those boys the men they need to be. Do you see that? And, she don't get a Pookie if you didn't allow a Pookie.
But she got an Eli. She ain't come to Eli. She went to Pookie. And that's what we're trying to say.
She wouldn't have had a Pookie if we didn't allow one.
I worked too hard in my life.
She wouldn't have had a Pookie if we didn't allow one.
But Dr. Umar,
men supposed to make raise the boys.
Right. We as men is holding other men accountable for the same thing that you're talking about right now.
What are we doing for the young brothers in the street? So
what you mean, mentoring them? Now I mean he's a great father.
Mm-hmm. I ain't talking about that's individual. That's good. But that's individualism. Yeah. What are we doing collectively as men to change the trajectory for black boys in the streets right now? Nothing.
We're being a voice.
Talking shit.
Yeah, I mean, you could take it as
It's not going to get better unless we put hands on deck. The reason the athletes and the rappers are the role models is the professional black man moved out the hood. Where the dentist at? He ain't in the black community no more. Where the lawyer at? Where the business owner at? Where your city council person at? We abandon black boys and then we blame black men for poor choices in mates that they should not even have to make if we did a better job raising our boys the right way. At the end of the day, if I'm gonna call myself a man, the ultimate responsibility for reconstruction of the black community rests with me. Yes, they have a role. Yes, they have responsibility. But as a man, as a leader, to say I can't fix this shit unless she changes, that's not the definition of a man.
That's a goddamn motherfucking lie. Now you finna get toothpick Kofa. So if y'all wanted to rant, here it goes. That's a motherfucking lie. How in the fuck am I supposed to build some shit and I'm watching it burn down in front of me? And then the people that are burning it down, producing the children that are burning it down, choosing the men that are burning it down, you don't even give me a fucking hose. I gotta run down to the goddamn lake with a bucket, grab the water, run back, try to put out the damn fire at the house. Then I'm supposed to form a chain with some other black men. But guess what? That bucket, resources. Here go woke Kofa. Resources, goddammit. That bucket gotta go all the way through these other hands. Down to the lake, get the water, pass all the way up. Just like any other resource. When it starts passing through hands, if I pass a bucket to somebody and we're in a rush and we're trying to put out a fire, stay with me for the hypothetical, we're trying to put out a fire, we all know in a rush, some of that water is going to fall out of the bucket on the way back. Right or wrong? Y'all let me know in the chat if I'm crazy as fuck. If we're in this chain, passing resources, money, some of that shit is going to spill out along the way. So by the time it gets to the house where it's supposed to put out the fire, we got another motherfucker on the other side just regular pouring gas. We've seen it several times. What is it? 16 to 20% of men making 80-90% of the damn children out of wedlock? And guess what? Throw Kofa in there. My baby's out of wedlock. She's 20 goddamn years old. I did my job. I raised mine. Maybe Umar's raising his, but guess what? Both of his out of wedlock. I don't think the brother's ever been married. So to sit up on a platform like this, because these brothers got a lot of subscribers, a lot of reach, and to put this shit out that black men are to the blame for the black community, like black women just ain't got no issues going on, like they're not choosing to that. You see how frustrated this brother is on the left with the boot on his foot. You see how frustrated he is on his face. He just said it. You got an Eli. You chose the Pookie. Umar completely deflected. Why does the Pookie exist? Nigga, I don't know. I'm not his daddy. I'm not his mama. I didn't raise him in a fucked up environment. King Pookie, otherwise known as House of Hypocrites. The brother from a couple of months ago that went viral on TikTok because he said he had 7 kids by 7 baby mamas. Now that brother was raised in a 2-parent household. They still fucking married. He said he had a great fucking upbringing. He's just a selfish ass nigga. White supremacy did not do that, Umar. And it's a lot of these dudes running around. That's one man. One. I try not to do math in public, but I think I got this one. That's one man for 7 women. Now multiply another dude. So now you got 2 black men for 14 women. You got 3 brothers sitting on the couch right there that you're blaming for not doing something for the community at large. So if those 2 dudes exist in the community, that's 14 fucking women out there that those 3 guys are supposed to take care of, plus their own fucking families. But this shit makes sense to Umar while he's saying it, because the sisters love him for that shit. But then when he says, sister, you gotta start picking better. Ain't nobody to pick from. These niggas all the same. This, that, and the third. Listen to the same bullshit. Again, the brother said it. You had an Eli. You picked the Pookie. Intentionally. I keep saying it. A lot of this shit that's going on in our community can be laid squarely at the feet of our women en masse. Why? Because black women en masse, in general, across the board, many, not all, but majority, have kids out of wedlock. Those that have a kid out of wedlock have multiple kids after that. At least to the tune of 2. So the majority of our women are choosing guys that don't want to be fathers. So when we talk about the numbers of why black men ain't in the home, he wasn't never going to be there any damn way. His role was to procreate according to the women. We're going to get into that in a second. Got a couple of quick videos after this one. I'm going to let it keep on cooking. We almost there.
Yeah, I think we're on 2 different accords. Like, I don't think we're saying that. What I'm saying is I'm capable of being that leader, that provider. I've worked hard in my life. You get what I'm saying? I should not have to do.
You still go back to individualism.
But I only feel like we tell black men that we have to now deal with masculine women, women with children.
Why is she masculine? Because she's had to raise the kids alone. Not one woman,
So you
brother.
mean to tell me,
a whole community.
So you mean to tell me the only woman I could look forward in my life is a masculine woman that has kids by other men?
No,
that's what I have to look forward to.
But I'm telling you, mistakes made by black men systemically gave rise to the conditions that allowed her to be masculine and made her end up with a man that you consider to be less than what he should be. And I'm telling you, black men are responsible for her being masculine because we have not helped her raise them children.
I am
and
not.
when I say help them raise them,
look at bro face. Matter of fact, he gets this.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease.
It's so many things that could have ran through his mind with that expression on his face. But I'm gonna let it keep on running.
children, I don't mean you as the stepdad.
No, yeah,
I mean you as an active member in the community where we go to every single parent black mother and say, how many sons you got? 2? How many sons you got? 2? Well, guess what? That's your son's big brother. That's your son's big brother. He taking them to school. He doing the homework. He gonna spend a couple hours with them every Saturday. He got his own kids too, but he gonna make time for you. She got masculine because she had to become masculine in order to deal with the rape, the abuse, the domestic violence, the disappointments that men had in her life, and also raising those kids and having to take care of herself all at the same time. The black woman has been the be-all, in-all in our community for half of a century, and now we want to turn around and say because she didn't do it perfectly enough or remain feminine enough when she had to absorb our responsibilities plus her own, that's insensitive and disingenuous.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, I can't.
I mean, I guess I do understand what I understand what you're saying.
I'm not taking
you
nothing
have
back from
yet
that.
to tell me something that we've done systemically to combat that. Because you keep saying me and her. I don't care about me and her.
But there's plenty
women
of
and men. Women and men as a group in the community. You understand?
Right.
We gave birth to that. You see? So you say she had a couple kids already because she met men. She probably thought they was good, some of them. They left her.
She knew they wasn't good.
You don't know that, brother.
She knew they wasn't good.
You're making assumptions about her. Would you make the same assumption if she was a white woman?
Yes, I would.
So you say.
No,
come on, man. Nah. Come on.
All women accountable.
So you say.
Listen, like I said, I feel like as a black
We
man,
don't hold them all accountable because black men date outside their race more than every other man put together.
I said we.
Y'all 3.
Yes.
Okay.
yeah.
I can't disprove that because I don't know you personally.
Even that,
but
if we look at the numbers, black men marry black women at an 87% rate, where black women marry outside of their race, or they marry outside at a 92%.
black women do not. No, you're wrong.
That's percentages of
You're wrong.
That's not that much.
Black women do not marry out the race more than black men.
I'm
That's
not
wrong.
saying that, but the percentages
Black
ain't that
women,
far off. That's what I'm
black
saying.
women have one of the highest, fastest growing interracial marriage rates. But her interracial marriage rate pales in comparison to what black men have been doing interracially for 4 or 5 decades.
13%. But you know why brothers are leaving? Because of talk like this. Women are listening to talk like this, turn around, talk to their actual good man at the house, make up a situation that never fucking happened, make up this shit in their lady brain, then cause an argument, and then there go the relationship. Over some bullshit like this. Because black pastors, I've sat in the churches, talk like this. Black men need to be leaders. This, that, and the third. When you stand up as a fucking leader, now you're trying to run her. You can't tell black women what to do. You this, that, and the third. You're not a good enough leader. What took you so long? You didn't do it right way. That's not enough. How can I lead if I'm constantly having to correct for my followers? If you're such a good follower, why the fuck you don't follow? And y'all keep saying, oh, well, you're not going to lead me into destruction. Talking to the sisters now. You're not going to lead me into destruction. That other dude already did that shit. Now I got to clean up his mess? And I got to walk this straight and narrow and be damn near perfect? I can't make no mistakes. None. You get to make all the mistakes in the world. I keep asking people this. How in the hell are you, the same scenario I just gave you with the house on fire, how am I supposed to build something as soon as I bring a piece, you burn it up, you tear it down, you take it away? I'm one individual man. Then I go out there and have a mentee, have a mentee-mentor relationship with a young man, but he's not my son. I don't feed him. I've had parents remind their sons, Kofa ain't your damn daddy. Men and women. So again, hands off. Cool, y'all got it. shit go left. Then it's, what are we doing in the community? At this point, damn near watching that motherfucker burn. Because a lot of cats have done the work. I don't understand why black people struggle with that. We never give it up to the brothers that are doing the work. Even though we may inject the Pookie and the Ray Ray conversation in this space, it's because we see it. Those are the minority of black men. The majority of black men are being overlooked or used for resources and then discarded. Our resources are supposed to go to this man's kids. Our resources are supposed to go to him. Now we're supposed to help this motherfucker find a job because he wanted to act a fool in school. He wanted to join the gang. He wanted to go do this shit. Like Stewart just said, bring that shit back up. In fact, many play Pookie just to get some pussy. Having a conversation with my homegirl, she know who she is. She saw this ex-dope girl. She didn't run the streets being no hoe, wasn't no jacker, wasn't none of that shit. That bitch so dope. That's what she did, and she'll tell you. That's not who she is now, but that's who she was. And we were having a conversation about relationships, and she was like, well, why it seem like you be hating on the street dudes? I'm like, I'm not hating on them. I just know the motherfuckers because a man know a man. I said, let me ask you something, sis. You done moved all this damn work over time, right? So you done been dibbled in and out the streets, dealt with gangs, all that shit. So you been around a lot of dudes. How many of them dudes would be those dudes? How many of those guys wouldn't get no pussy if he went out there pushing dope? She couldn't do shit but laugh. She said, it's a lot of them. Because a lot of them niggas be fat. They ugly as fuck. And not like, he kind of cute to be ugly. Like ugly. A lot of these dudes awkward. Like we got into the conversation. I asked her, how many of those dudes would be getting chose if he wasn't selling dope and he didn't have money? She couldn't do shit but laugh. Then we got into the conversation. So again, he got all this socially awkward shit going on, right? But he's getting chose because he got money. He can afford to give that shit. But let it be a socially awkward dude that's working 9 to 5 can do the same thing. Provide, protect. Just might not have the greatest conversation, especially pimp game where he could talk out of draws. And then he gets the pushback. He gets the rejection. Let me get back to the comments. We're going to keep on cooking. Again, we almost done. Mr. Donnie Mack said he's being disingenuous about the idea that Pookie shouldn't exist. He's here to chastise black men. Exactly. Like I said, there's Pookies in every racial group. They just going to call them something different. Sean says that's on them if they pick low-hanging fruits and some from the side of the road. Big facts. Stewart says white people bred black people and black women still pick slave bucks to breed with. Yep, white supremacy. I'll get that, Stewart. I'm going to go back and look at the definition. You might be correcting me. I'll take it on the chin, but I said what I said earlier, but we'll get to it. Of course, says cook, Kofa, cook. Look, Broke just said, I lost respect for Umar on this. I did a little bit too, brother. I'm not going to cap. He says, all them brothers are looking at Dr. Umar as if he's a fool. Especially the brother with the boot on. He salute to him. I'm going to try to watch they live tonight again and just figure out who they are as individuals. But salute to him because I can see it on his face. He is exercising extreme patience. Let's keep on going. I hope they didn't pay Umar for this foolishness. Almost done with the comments, y'all. Stewart says white people taught black people to choose mates through lust, and black men choose black women by that ass though, and black women choose men if they're coochie tingle. That's white supremacy. They ain't got shit to do with white supremacy, in my opinion, Stewart. That's all individualism. Because at this point now, if we have this idea and this knowledge of white supremacy, why are we still doing it? Because those young boys that ran up on somebody at the gas station in whatever respective major city, white folks ain't make them do that. Even if they did put the guns in the community. I got a gun. I'm not going to show my shit. YouTube will shut my shit. I got my gun right here. I ain't running up on nobody. So that's why I push back against the whole white supremacy thing. I understand what was done to us. But again, like I always say here, there was never a time that black women didn't work. So this whole idea of black men not wanting women to work and go to school and all that shit, it's a fucking lie. It's a lie. Take it all the way back to the continent. Woke Kofa again. Men went out to hunt. Women went down to the river to wash clothes and gather the water so they could cook later on. Because guess what? They knew the men, some of them brothers may not come back while they out there hunting them animals. Because now he got to go out there and literally compete with a fucking lion or a cheetah to bring back a gazelle or a caribou. And it took most of the men going out there. Why? Because caribou are huge. So not only do we got to kill this motherfucker, we got to chop them up, bring back the parts that we can bring back to the village after this several mile hike, and try not to die in the process, as we got open bloody meat and being followed by goddamn pack of hyenas or lions or whatever other predator out there. We understood each other's roles. We don't want to do that shit no more. White supremacy ain't have shit to do with breaking that, because guess what? If anything, in slavery, the men were doing the work and the women were doing the work. So then we bring our ass out of slavery. Same shit Kevin Samuel said, and I'm going to have to steal this brother's words on this. What slavery and Jim Crow segregation could not do, feminism did. Feminism did that. The idea of white supremacy may have been, hey, let's do this. But this is the other thing about that, Stuart. If it's so much of white supremacy, why are white folks going through the same shit? Because it ain't just black folks. Had to warn some of my homeboys about that. We're just looking at the black folks, because that's us. Take a step back, get a wider view. White folks going through it, Asians going through it, Indians going through it. Now they're married at higher rates than black folks, but especially white people, they going through it too, relationship wise. But let me keep on going. Selena says, "Are you into construction or procurement?" Excuse me for being a little personal, broker, but oh, y'all in a whole other conversation. Stewart says, black man puts his foot down in the house, black woman calls the police. White savior syndrome, white supremacy also. Stewart, you just gonna prove this point, bro. I'm gonna have to bring you up one day. Ain't gonna be tonight, cause I'm finna go smoke. But we're gonna have to have that. Umar knows the deal. He been there. He just can't change course. And that's fine. We all got our different views. We all got these different experiences up under the guise of racism, bigotry, and the idea of white supremacy. I'm just not going to say white supremacy, because we're spelling. We're putting it out there. We're saying that white people are superior. Matter of fact, when we say white supremacy in the context you're putting it, Stuart, and this is the last time I'm going to address this real quick, but if we're putting it in that context, that does mean that white people are superior to us, because we keep falling for it. And I know we're better than that. Got to give myself one on that.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
But I'm not fully disagreeing with you, brother. I understand what you're saying. But if we keep saying it like that and putting it in the context, that means white people are indeed more superior than us, because we keep falling for this shit that we can see the ploy of. And I know my people better than that. But let's keep going. Blood Crow says facts. Corey Joe says, Doc, sound like a panda bear.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
Mr. Donnie Mack says black husbands have 500K more marriages than black wives. Black mothers have 1.2 million more children than black. Bruh, you get all this.
Hand down, man down. Mama, there goes that man. Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
One more.
Knocks down another 3-ball. This guy is hotter than fish grease here.
Yeah, I caught part of Medium Man's last night. I was preparing for this live today. Let's see, y'all y'all talking they do, so we don't. Yeah, we'll go. All right, let's keep on going.
You understand? She don't even come close to what we're doing interracially.
Black fathers are in the home more than any other group or race.
Okay. But what
that has no value?
It does have value, but we're going to put that up against the other statistic. 2/3 of our kids are being raised by the women. 2/3 of our kids are being raised by the women. Mm-hmm. And like I said, when I say being raised, I'm not saying it needs to be a father. I would like a father in that house, but I know it's not enough of us to go around.
Yeah.
We are not even being accountable to the boys in the hood. And we're complaining about the women.
I argue with women
who are making babies with the irresponsible men that we didn't raise correctly. That's bullshit.
All right.
That's wimp ass weak man shit. Take responsibility for our shit. Stop scapegoating them.
Yeah, I could agree to that.
All I'm saying is look at all we could be doing better, man. Half the black boys in the 4th grade can't read. What black men doing about that systemically?
Not enough.
I know what I'm doing about it. I'm building
agree.
a school for it, 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
But systemically as black men, what are we doing about that? Nothing.
Building. It's been a decade. Some of these boys your ass was talking to 10 years ago that were 18 years old, either dropped out or graduated by now.
Black boys are the most unemployed teenager in America. What black men doing about that?
Not
See, the Pookie and Ray Ray you kept talking about?
Mm-hmm.
We letting them raise right before our eyes, and then we want to criticize us for ending up with one when we should have made sure there were none.
Listen, we all got choices. Just like if I choose to live a lifestyle,
You're dealing with individualism again. I can't
but that's
deal with
part
that.
of choices.
No, it's not. We have to deal with this systemically. He brought up a question earlier, and he said, "Did we make these problems on our own, or was there some systemics involved?" It was systemics.
Okay.
In 1970, they shut down the factories. They took out the industrial building jobs. 1980, dropped off the crack and the AIDS. 1990, the Bill Clinton crime bill. There's systemic factors at play. You totally divorce your analysis from any systemic factors at all. You ain't mentioned one. You keep talking about her and Pookie and Ray Ray with the kids. You ain't said shit about the systemics. That's exactly what white folks want you to do. That's what white folks want you to do.
I'm saying that
ignore
I have made
what I've done to your women and scapegoat her. Because that's what she's doing to you. She's ignoring what the system did to you. And she's going to scapegoat you.
And
We're both scapegoating each other.
Okay, that's fair.
Your analysis is feeding the gender war. It's not solving it.
Listen,
I don't mind us holding the women accountable. I don't mind us holding the men accountable.
Right?
Yeah.
But when we going to hold the system accountable as well?
That's fair.
And if we're
More disingenuous arguments. How are you going to hold a system accountable, but you just said we don't have shit? How does that even make sense? You're going to hold the entire U.S. government system, because yes, this country was built on racism and all that shit. How are you going to hold the system accountable when you saying we don't have shit? If a race war popped off tomorrow, we going to take a L. Matter of fact, if a race war popped off tomorrow, a lot of these Pookies and Ray Rays are going to be on the side of the oppressor. Because they the ones with the straps, right? They the ones that got families to protect, because black women have chosen to give a lot of these guys families to not take care of. But just hypothetically speaking, if shit jumped off tomorrow, racially, where would we be? We can kiki and giggle about these passport bros all day. I promise you that's what I'm working toward. To be a dual citizen. When I need to come here for family shit, that's my plan. Other than that, I plan to be in Central or South America. I'm going to do some more travels around and then, play with the idea of some more. But that's my goal, to be able to live out the country on some G shit. All jokes aside. Because it does not make sense to ask black men, again, to be better while our women are given free reign to choose who they want to choose, and then try to blame some white folks. Them white folks was not at the club. Them white folks didn't hook you up with your homegirl's crazy ass cousin. White folks ain't do that shit. Y'all have been around solid ass black men time after time. And he's trying to pivot and put a bow on it. That's fine. He says he holds the women accountable. That's cool. But what you cannot do is say, hey, I hold the women accountable and I hold the men accountable. It ain't about you, Umar. You keep saying it's about us collectively, right? So again, there's more brothers out there doing positive than there are negative. If the women see the brothers doing positive, which they fucking know, but they turn around and say he's lame, he's boring, X, Y, and Z, and then go over there and choose the other dude, what the fuck can the positive brother do about that shit? I can't make you stay. Kidnapping, sexual assault, I can't make you do shit. This ain't got a damn thing to do with no damn white folks. This ain't got a damn thing to do with the system. Our sisters are choosing certain things. And they do it to the tune of 2 decades. Notice when these women are talking this shit about wanting a good man, the majority of them are over 35. They have lived their life. They have procreated with niggas. They have burned shit down, fucked shit up, tore up the community, sold the dope, shot each other, went to jail, came out, went back to jail, came out, didn't do shit, went back to jail, sat down for life. And these are our educated women. I ain't even talking about the Pookeishas. I ain't even talking about the hood chicks. I'm talking about these are educated black women that's talking about they can't find a man. No, you can't find a man that will give you all his money and got your pussy wet. Because him being kind to you is a turn off. Or you use it because it felt good, but he ain't going to get no ass. He's not going to get no kids. He's not going to get a legacy. But yet, he's supposed to do for the community that does not love him back. Let's keep on going.
To hold the system accountable, that also means we got to make our own systems too. Black men have not been manly in quite some time when it comes to raising boys.
How would you suggest that black men take on the role of leadership,
especially when there's an attack on black masculinity,
without women willing to listen to us? You get what I'm saying? How do we prove our worth or take back the leadership
care of the boys?
role?
You want the women back? Take care of these damn boys. They run in the hood, killing people at will, flunking out of school, following the lead of the gangster rappers. There's a whole bunch of stuff we can do that ain't got nothing to do with the women, boys and men. Do you understand? Deal with the boys and the men. Leave her out of it and go straight to the boys. And you'll get her respect back. Give them jobs, give them education, give them training, give them your time. They not getting none of that from black men. We don't give a shit about black boys. And then we're gonna get mad at her for ending up with one later in life. It's ridiculous.
Like I said,
we product and get mad for her for ending up consuming the product.
She could consume whatever she wants. I'm just saying, as a black man,
it's not about her consuming whatever she wants, brother. Because if we're trying to fix the black community, everybody and everything matters. It's not individual. You're an individualist. You're not thinking as a community. Your whole analysis is based on me and her. Step out of that shit. This is the systems at play. You understand?
Right.
Multiple black men screwed up. Multiple black women screwed up. You understand me? Look at the systemic nature and say, what system do we need to create as black men to prevent the Pookie and Ray Ray from coming into existence?
Or I, as a black man, can just look for a woman that is healed, that is leading in her femininity, that doesn't have a child by another woman.
But that doesn't solve community problems. We're talking about community solutions. That's individualism.
That's fair. Let me get to this last topic before we get up out of here. I do want to talk about you.
They pivoted over and started talking about the school. Y'all let me know what hell y'all been letting me know all that shit in the chat, but again, I gotta hit it.
There's powerful niggardry at work here.
Let me get to some of y'all comments, man. Bring it back up. Broker Tradition says, Dr. Umar gotta sell white supremacy. That's his cash cow. And that is also facts. We've seen it before. I think I said it in the beginning. The conscious community sound a lot like the politicians, a lot like the preachers, a lot like the pimps. Let's see. Yep, it's been a decade, bro. I remember because you know why? I moved to Atlanta in 2010, found out about Umar around 2012, and started, guess what? Your boy donated to the school a few times. Way back then. I told you, I done bought the black products. I done did all the... I was woke for the sun got up. How many goddamn times I gotta tell y'all? I was woke for the sun got up. I done did my part. So I take special issue when I hear stuff like this coming from brothers, especially brothers that have a platform like that. Because all it does is throw more gas on the fire for black women to say, it ain't my fault. Let me go out here and fuck this other nigga raw again. I know I said I was going to stop using that word, but I used it on purpose that time. Because we hear black women say that shit all the time. I don't need no man. I want a real nigga. And that's what a lot of them ended up with. Some real niggas. And now black men, again, are supposed to form a chain and try to put out the fire at the house. Unbeknownst to us, on the other side of the blaze, our women and the Pookies are pouring gas. But you know, it's our fault. Because then the question is going to be, well, how the house get on fire in the first damn place? Probably one of these badass kids she had with him. Playing with matches and shit. I can only control what I can control. Same thing with you out there, brother. Now, if you want to link together and then build something, which I'm about to show y'all after we get through the comments, then do that. Let me get through these comments so we can go ahead and get ready to really wrap up. Let's see. Oh crap, screen just went out. There we go. Mr. Donnie Mack says all of the fraternities in the Divine Nine have robust mentorship and scholarship programs. They do. But you know what the pushback is going to be against that, Mr. Donnie Mack, is, oh, those are the black bourgeoisie. They're stealing the money and this, that, and the third. Then when we have a grassroots organization, which I'm about to fucking show you, it took this brother 12 years to get this organization really where it's at. And I'm proud of it. And I'm proud to say I spent 6 years of in that organization. But I'll show y'all in a second. Hold on. He can't put that all on brothers. Women have to be accountable. Big fact. He said he had a point here. Not sure which one. He made some fair points. But the overall premise of blame black men, I'm not accepting that shit, Stuart. Indigo Flow in the building. I appreciate you being in here, brother. Blood Crow says, who benefits from the system more? Black men, black women, or black men? We know the answer to that. Mr. Donnie Mack says, if he really wants to talk about systemics, ask him about the Moynihan report on social welfare reform. I'm about to do a whole live on that. I know Dr. Tiasan has talked about it. I think Kevin touched on it. I know Obsidian's gone into it. So I'm going to have to give the Kofa spin on it as well. But yeah, there was a whole report back in the 60s of how if black people basically had the same resources, then we'd be better off with families. But because there was a systemic split of the family, but that systemic split came from our women choosing that. You can have a man with no job or let the government be your daddy. Black women chose the government collectively en masse. But we see the results, white supremacy, and then blame black men. I keep telling y'all that. No, when you have these conversations with your friends and family, just sit back and watch you get blamed. Watch how the cousin that ain't never had a woke bone in his body, all of a sudden he's Dr. Umar. He gonna start talking about these white folks this, these white folks that. When it's come time for black women to be held accountable, notice who get blamed. I told you, you find the nearest black man to blame and the ideal white supremacy. Drew in the building. Appreciate you, good brother. Let's see. Uh-oh, did I miss something? Corey Joe says, Doc, all over the place. This is why his school not built.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
Yeah. You can't make this shit up, people. You cannot make this shit up.
Oh shit, Corey, you got me with that one, bro. Oh, Selena says, I'm dropping jewels. I appreciate you as always, sis. I'm kind of hating. I know Broken Traditions moving around y'all area. He probably gonna get some. Oh damn, he don't eat meat, so I don't feel bad. I was gonna say he probably gonna get some damn crab cake before me, but he don't eat meat. Let's see. Blood Crow says the positive brother can go build his own community. He gonna have to. Again, this is why brothers are leaving the country. Some of the brothers that I know that are already planning, they already been over there. I know some black women that have moved overseas, and they got their small little pocket of black expats, men and women. It's happening, y'all. It's happening. All jokes aside, all the internet beef back and forth, all the TikTok jabs about the passport bros and all that shit, it's happening. If nobody else has told you, I'm not going to give you a bunch of statistics and bog you down with all that information. I'm going to look you in the face as I look in the camera and just tell you, it's happening. You're either going to be on board or you're not. That's fine if you want to stay in the state. If you don't want to create an opportunity for yourself to have a potential to go somewhere else. But it's happening. Let me go over here. Stuart says, fuck that. Do it for the people, not the bitch. I'm not doing it for either because the bitches are amongst the people, unfortunately. A lot of goddamn. We got a lot of hyenas amongst our people, Stuart. And trust me, it was a long time before I could even formulate calling a black woman a B. before I could even conceptualize that shit in my head. But the behaviors, I've said it several times, a lot of these women are talking queen and acting concubine. And then they'll turn around and call a dude a king when he's actually the village idiot. Because when brothers are walking in their kingdom, that shit takes time. Because he's actually had to work. Black women don't respect work ethic. They want it now. In the black community across the board, we hate the process. It's part of the reason why we're not financially fit. We hate the process. There's a lot of black people out there giving financial information before this whole selling courses and ebooks and all that shit even came into play. Wasn't nobody paying the people no attention. God forbid Dr. Claude Anderson go on the other side. But that brother has done his work 50 times over. How many black, all the information and places he was going throughout the 80s and the 90s, how many of our older generation people listen to Dr. Claude Anderson? If they did, we'd be in a better position. But guess what? We're not going to save that because mama, auntie, grandmama wanted some new shit back then. This is not new. The stuff that we're dealing with black women, it's not new. But some of y'all niggas can't let your nuts drop and actually say, hey, my mama, my grandmama, my auntie, my sisters are one of these type of women. That's a big gripe I got with the manosphere content and the man-centric content in red pill space. You talk shit about the queens when your mama was on the same hoe shit. Let me move over here. Let me get back to this. Broker Tradition says Umar really on some bullshit. He really was. Corey Joe says he all over the place. Indigo says Umar can kiss my whole black ass. Respectfully. Stewart says, but if black men were to take hold of the boards, you're going to have to talk bad about the mama. Umar missed that. Now, that's a big one we agree on tonight, Stewart. That's a big one. I'm getting to that in a second. Umar is beating a dead horse. That horse that I said ran out the barn and it ran down the dirt road, Sean. Flawless mentality. Dr. Mark in the building. Peace, good brother. Night Train back in this thing. Says peace code for the community is started by individuals. Mindset first. God damn it, I was getting to that.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
This is how I look at the community. Night Train, I'm glad you said that. Sean laughing at the height. We have so many. But this is why I was looking at the community, Night Train. It's like having a mansion. Whether you got paneling or wood or bricks or stone, whatever it is. Each stone individual makes up that big mansion, the community at large. Another terminology that everybody's familiar with. The chain is only strong as its weakest link. So while brothers are trying to get better and govern their families and get with other families, that's how that shit happens. Two solid individuals get together, they make a couple. That couple creates children, become parents, now you got a family. Now that family gets with 2-3 other families. Now you got a community, now you got a clan. Because everybody fucking with each other, right? Get 2 or 3 clans together, now you got a community. Get 2 or 3 communities together, now you got a state. Get 2 or 3 states together, now you got a fucking nation. What's the common denominator? Your individual. You got to be solid. Your individual and your family, because that's where the children are created from. But you're asking black men with families to stretch themselves thin. Remember when I played that clip from Sherry Shepherd and she was talking about, hey, to all the married women out there, just as a single mom, can I borrow your husband? I don't want your husband, but I need to borrow him for my son. Let me get to this other video real quick, because this is what we're supposed to protect. This is what we're supposed to work with. This is what we're supposed to build with.
Black men are giving black women AIDS at a very high rate. Black men are unaliving black women at a very high rate. And now there's a new flavor of nigga out called incel.
You're right. We don't need black men. We are the most educated demographic in this country right now. We have started more business than any demographic in this country right now. We're doing great. We don't need anyone.
We was never gonna date you anyway.
Usually it's black men, because black men are the only ones who seem to have a difficult time with, caring for someone other than themselves.
You can't ask any of the male contacts that for money. Yes, it is time. Block, 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 block. The wax lady, your hairstylist, your landlord, your phone bill. Payment method is not good morning.
If you don't feel like you can help out with me and my kid, then we don't have anything to talk about.
For all you pick-me-shoes out there cooking and cleaning and making your boyfriends giant plates of food, ask yourself, why are you doing all these things that wives barely even do?
If a guy is looking to tickle your fancy, let him spend some money.
It's guys out there who want you, right? But won't spend $100 on you. But mad because you talking to a new dude who spend money on you. He spend money, you don't. I'm doing us both a favor.
When I'm in a relationship, I don't believe in spending my money on my man. His money is for me. My money is for me.
That's what we're supposed to fight for. One more. And I'm so proud of this sister for telling the fucking truth and breaking this sister code, but let's go.
Why are girls lying? Listen, I'm gonna expose the women here. I'm sorry I have to do it. Women are talking shit to you guys. We do not sleep with somebody that we're not attracted to. We don't care if you're nice. If a sexy guy is sleeping on his mom's couch and he's got game and he's sexy, a woman will sleep with him. Mm-hmm. She won't friend zone him, but she'll friend zone a nice guy who does all the right things and she's not sexually attracted to. She'll take your money, she'll take your time, and then she'll tell you goodbye. Women will do that. So make sure they're attracted to you before you spend money on them.
Damn, that dude taking that.
Sorry, I had to do it. I'm sick of these girls lying. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
That's who we're supposed to protect. That's whose children we're supposed to raise. That's who we're supposed to go drive. She just said it. They'll take your time. They'll take your money. They'll take all that. Y'all make sure as y'all come in, man, y'all suplex that like button for me. I'm going to share my screen real quick, and then we're going to get up out of here. But I had to touch on that Umar. That shit, it just had me hot. So since black men collectively aren't doing anything, this is Next Level Boys Academy. This is the organization that I have been a part of. And let me widen this screen real quick. Make sure y'all can see it. All right. So that's Gary Davis, 14 years ago now. Matter of fact, he said when President Obama got inaugurated, he quit his job the next day. That's when he started this organization. You see all these young black men in here that he's speaking to, and a couple of brown ones too. But you see all these young men that he's speaking to. He started off with a summer camp. Then he pivoted over to, he started coaching Little League basketball to little 5-year-old. And then he started a summer camp. Then he started an after-school program. Then he started a diversion program for young men getting in trouble with the police. So it sounds fucked up, but the demographic of young men that we work with are, a lot of times, it's not all of them, but a lot of them have robbed somebody. Some of them have gone down the road. So when we have them in there and we're talking to them and we're pouring into them, they have our numbers. We talk to them all throughout the week. Now, recently, I stepped back because I was focused on some stuff going on in my career. But I've been there since 2016. Late 2016, early 2017. So roughly 5-6 years. I've been involved with the organization. Remember when I told y'all a couple of weeks ago, I had a mentee call me because he was scared because the police had just pulled him over from this program. But I'm leaving it up there. It's Next Level Boys Academy. They're here in Atlanta, Georgia, Union City, Georgia, to be matter of fact, which is like 15 minutes outside of Atlanta, straight down the highway. But I'm going to play this for you. Make sure you go subscribe to the YouTube as well. But I want y'all to hear this.
Hello, my name is Gary Davis, founder
and Executive Director of the Next Level Boys Academy and Empowerment Center, which is an intensive mentoring organization for youth and young adult males ages 5 to 25. Here at Next Level Boys Academy and Empowerment Center, we offer 2 different types of programs. We have a program for our youth ages 5 to 10 years old, which is entitled Our Space, where we meet with young men every Friday evening at 6 p.m. and just have engaging conversations that center around their needs. And then we have our Next Level Leadership and Diversion program, which is for those group of young men who somehow found themselves caught in the judicial system. And in this program, we offer life skills, social skills, conflict resolution, anger management, job readiness.
Pause it right there. Job readiness. Because Umar said we ain't doing shit.
Because we understand here at Next Level Boys Academy, there's 2 things that benefits a young man's life. That's education and or occupation, which is some of the things that we strive to get young men involved in. We're thankful for our donors, our supporters, our team of mentors, who consist of law enforcement officers, educators, professional athletes, entertainers, and businessmen. Here at Next Level Boys Academy, our mission is to change each young man one community at a time. To learn more about our organization, you can follow us on our website, nextlevelboysacademy.com, or on all social media outlets at Next Level Boys Academy.
But black men ain't doing shit, y'all. Let it be told. So if you know somebody having trouble, and this is the thing, it's here in Atlanta, we've worked with mothers and families across the country, literally across the country, hopping on the phone calls, have a conversation, because we mentor different. That's one of the sayings we say, we mentor different. This whole cookie cutter shit, we know what we dealing with. We know what our young men are up against, so we have real fucking conversations. These little motherfuckers, they get Uncle Toothpick Kofa all the time. Real conversations. Ain't got time to play. Because guess what? Unfortunately, we done lost some. So when people are saying black men aren't doing anything, I take special issue with that, because I done had to bury some of these boys. I done cried in this very fucking room. That's me right there in the black. Let me see if I can open this up a little bit more. Nope, that's as wide as it go. Hold on. Goddamn. Y'all give me a second. Slide this over. So this is a program called Our Space. Every Friday, on the flyer says 8 and up, but we're taking them from 5. Again, I had to step away back in September. I'm going to keep saying we, because I still plan on going back and getting on some more calls and things like that. But I had to step away for me. Again, another thing I talk about with black men, I gave this organization 5-6 years, all while being a single father, all while working a full-time job, all while being in the Army Reserve, and then had almost forgot about me while I was serving. But black men don't do shit. I hear y'all comments coming in. I promise you I'm going to get back to them, then we bouncing. But this is me right here. When we first started up the program, Gary asked me to start it. I told him, yeah. But then as it got more intense, I was like, bro, I gotta have some time for me. I gotta step away. And I can't play with it being in and out these kids' lives like that. So when I go back, I'm back. But right now, I couldn't. Visit sometime, yeah, cool. But I didn't even want to do that to them. But this is me. I'm not just talking this shit, y'all. I fucking lived it. So especially when I'm talking about some of the issues that I ran into with single moms and things like that. Because guess what? None of this shit is perfect. None of it's perfect. And we're dealing with some of these women that have pretty much walked their sons into jail because she raised them in a fucked up environment. This is why I'm talking what I'm talking. It's only so much other black men can do and can't tell black women about their fucking sons. We love the positive images, but when you get down to that dirty shit, to the nuts and bolts, and you really doing grassroots work, you'll see what the fuck I'm talking about. If you really gonna do the work. Because I'm big on that, again, work ethic. But it's so many brothers. It's not just me. It's a room full of mentors. When he went down that list, literal professional athletes. No brother that used to play in the league. No brother that's playing in the NFL right now. All from serving. Police officers. I know we got our umbers with police officers, but they need to see black police officers to understand what the fuck they dealing with. And have a face-to-face with them, because we love talking about white supremacy, right? So don't white folks have a relationship with the police? So in black-ass Atlanta, wouldn't you want your son to have a relationship with a police officer? So if he ain't do something that bad, hey man, give me that weed. I'm going to throw this shit out. You take your motherfucking ass home. Instead of hitting his ass with a goddamn charge. But see, we don't like to think like that. This is why I say it ain't got shit to do with white folks. It's us. We can't be these fucking super smart motherfuckers and created and founded the country and built the country and all that shit. And all these same old ass ploys that worked on our great 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 grandparents is still working today. I'm gonna keep on. Y'all see the flyer? The numbers right there. This is where it's located. Y'all can pause the video if you go back watch on the replay gang. If you're in the Atlanta area, you're around the Atlanta area, you're just interested in calling, tell them Kofa sent you. Kofa. They know who I am because, again, I gave 5 years. He was like, hey, I was on Kofa's YouTube channel, heard about your program, blah, 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 blah. Do not go over there on no bullshit because it ain't even me that I'm worried about. I ain't even worried about my rep. They know I'm solid because I did the fucking work. Them boys gonna call your ass out. So if you think you're gonna be that motherfucker to go there and just, hold on, let me get through this real quick. Again, another flyer. Y'all see it. Focus on the young men. That's one of the moms there. They just had an all-white party for the mom. I don't know who mama that was. Had some yams. Let me keep on going. Yeah. Another book he wrote, Raising Him Without Him. Since nobody's doing anything, Dr. Umar, you're not the only motherfucker that can write, bro. Like, go on with that bullshit, dog. Featured on the news. Featured on Tips Expeditiously before that got pulled for other reasons. But y'all see it. This is the website. Couldn't leave up out of here without that. Let me bring it back on me real quick. I appreciate everybody looking. Appreciate everybody coming in here. Appreciate the likes, the subscriptions, everything. So I think we got through this good tonight. Hope I did it justice because I had to give pushback. But that little cherry on the top with the mentor program, that's why I had to do that. I am so sick of what black men hearing what black men aren't doing. And it's not fucking true. It's so many brothers out there putting in the work. Don't get no love or respect, man. We're just supposed to deal with it. We get y'all comments, then we rolling. Let's see. I think we almost caught up. Let's see. Yeah, divestment weave all over the place. Man, y'all going in on them damn chicks. Derek Gaines says, what the fuck? Corey Joe says, I'm dead. Derek Gaines again says, what the fuck? Night Train says, me, damn y'all doomed. Can't do it. Derek Gaines says, I haven't dated a black woman in years just because of all that drama. It ain't all of them, bruh, but trust me, I understand. I ain't even mad at you. The most educated and most evicted. I remind them of it every time. We're the most educated. You're also the most evicted. What are your degrees doing for you? You gave away your fucking money instead of building with a damn man. But, you know, I digress. Sean says, I see why these hoes alone.
Got it! It's hotter than fish grease!
And notice how many age ranges that span. Those little clips. This is what I keep talking about. This is what we're supposed to put out the fire on. All those different age ranges. Umar, that's what we got to work with, bro. While you're telling us to do the work and not get anything in return. While you're telling us to do the work, don't worry about the pookies. They'll take care of themselves or whatever silly ass shit. Why does the pookie exist? The fact is, he's here. He's here. You keep wanting to hop in the damn DeLorean and go back to the future. He's here. Keep on going. Blood Crow says, never heard of this organization. Thanks for introducing it to us, Brother Kofa. Yes, sir. We do good work over there at Next Level Boys Academy. Like I said, we mentor Doofit. Different. Don't go over there on no bullshit. Them boys gonna call you out faster than any of the mentors. So if you're going to do the work, do the work. Guess what? I almost burned myself out. That's why I took such a long hiatus. I haven't been since September. I had to step away. I was burning myself at both ends of the candle, and I really wanted to focus on this because I know my voice could carry more on YouTube. So that's why I'm here with y'all. Yes, I want some goddamn money too, but tell me where I told you a lie yet. And ain't one coming. You might disagree. Y'all see me and Stuart kind of went back and forth today, but the brother ain't wrong, but I know I'm not wrong either. Just different concepts. We all want the same thing, and that's the win for our people. But when it come down to it, I'm not about to sacrifice my damn self, and you tell me all my damn hard work and spoils finna go to this motherfucker that didn't even pick up his rifle. He wasn't in that chain with us trying to put out the water since we in a war with white supremacy. He wasn't trying to put out the fire. He was too busy starting it. Derek says Umar is a joke to me. He be on some point sometime. This time he was on some bullshit. Sean says this is beautiful and need this program. Yes, Sean, if you know anybody up there in Chicago that might want to reach out, I think trying to get it to spread across the nation, like realistically, like it's rappers. Y'all saw T.I., Killer Mike, fuck heavy with him. We just did a big kind of meeting down at City Hall in Atlanta over the holidays, over Christmas, Thanksgiving holiday, in that time frame. The mayor of Atlanta was there. So it's work being done, but unfortunately cars are still being broken into. Because even with the organization, even with these organizations, we can't reach everybody. We can't. It's a numerical impossibility. I was looking at some stats today, and I'm gonna let y'all go, man. I think it's 19 million black men in the country. It's like 21 million black women. So if every single available black man married every single available black woman, it's still gonna be 2 million left. I'm talking about just the adults. I'm not talking about the kids, 18 and up, men and women. It's still gonna be 2 million black women. But then when we introduce the idea of actual structured polyamory, we get pushed back. Y'all niggas nasty. You only want threesomes. You only think about sex. But yet these women out here fucking the same dude. Isn't that interesting? But we supposed to combat with that, Umar. We supposed to combat with. One thing I've learned: can't nobody do shit about black women choices. I say it here all the time. They gonna do what the full free fuck what they want to do. So solid ass brothers, keep your fucking sanity. Get a passport. Start creating options for yourself, bro. Start creating options for yourself. If you want to give your life for the community, go right ahead. I almost did it. I'm not gonna keep doing it. I done checked that block. It's time to pass the baton. Night Train says Dr. Umar is pushing the same false narratives as white media.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
Court Joe says salute to that whole organization. Yes, sir. There's Next Level Boys Academy. Y'all go Google them, go find them, go look on the socials, do your own groundwork, do your research. Because guess what? We've had guys come in wanting to be mentors. They see how we got down and they took their ass up out of there because they thought it was a Christian organization. Yes, we cussed them. Yes, we talk about weed and pussy. Because guess what? That's what usually get these young men nose open. And these young girls too, but it's just for boys. Understand that. We're helping the young men, and as we help the young men, we end up helping the families. But that's when I started to see things too. Even with helping these young men, I see how some of these moms is the catalyst for their issues in the first place. It ain't they dad. We've mended relationships. Let me say this. We've mended relationships there at that program between a father and a son that haven't spoken in years. And dad come back with text messages and emails. And now the son pissed at his mama because he thought his daddy wasn't there. No love for my daddy because the cow wasn't there. Drew was just talking about that dear mama and how Tupac was banging on his dad. No love for my daddy because the cow wasn't there. So these boys walking around with this anger for some shit that Umar fails to even inject and realize. There's black men out there that want their sons fought for their sons. The system, and mama. He fighting two wars. So many relationships, and now he come back receipts, emails. I've been trying to talk to your mama about getting you. Went to court, all that shit. Paid child support. Boy never saw a dollar of it because she was mad at his daddy. So when his dad paid child support for him, she took the money and intentionally spent it on his brothers and sisters from other men. How deep you want to get, Umar? Let me go on ahead. Derek. Indigo says, I fail to understand how so many people take him seriously, but hey, yeah. Jay Williams in this thing says, call it live. I might be late. All good. We about to wrap up, but I appreciate you being in here. Make sure you hit that like button, though. Sean says, this was a great conversation, nephew. I appreciate you, auntie. Indigo Flow, he's intelligent, but he panders a lot. He does. The brother is smart. I'm not going to take anything away from him. But again, when you start sounding like the preacher, when you start sounding like the woke version of a preacher or the conscious version of a politician, it's all the same thing. Black people love words. This is why the rappers are raising these kids, even when they have two-parent household, or even when there's a solid father in the house. We love words. These kids listen to rappers like some of y'all believe in the Democratic Party. I digress. Jason Williams says, peace, brother. I appreciate you. All good. Yeah, man, we had a good cook tonight. I did not realize we were going this late. I did not plan to go this late, but we are here. So I'm going live on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm going to try to keep it down to an hour, but I appreciate y'all rocking with me tonight. Let me get through these comments. I like trying to acknowledge y'all. Now, if the brother blow up, y'all know I ain't going to be able to get to everything, but I do like engaging with y'all in the content. That ain't changed, so I may not be able to get to everybody, but, you know, I will be engaging with the chat. I love it. Uh-oh. There we go. It goes back further than just those age ranges. Remember, our grandfathers, great-grandfathers didn't have a voice. They had to suffer in silence. That's why so many older men were drunks. People don't realize Granddaddy wasn't no alcoholic because he liked alcohol so much. He was numbing a lot of pain. Imagine all those men going to those wars. World War I, World War II, Korea. Hell, my pops was in Vietnam. I told you he's 77. My pops survived 3 tours in Vietnam. You not finna tell me shit about that man. And that's why when I shook off my own personal shit and really took inventory again of my life, I had to see where I came from. My pop survived 3 tours in Vietnam. If anybody knows how bad that war was, go, or you don't, go do a little YouTube research. Go to the University of YouTube and see how fucked up Americans were over there fighting that war. The Vietnamese was fucking them soldiers up, and my pop survived and got all his shit. That's why I said, even with me raising my right hand, putting on that uniform, what the fuck somebody gonna do or say to me in a YouTube space that the United States Army ain't already tried to do? Let's keep going. Good question. Everybody speaking. Appreciate y'all interacting with each other. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to each other if y'all have YouTube channels, or just go subscribe to each other or follow each other on socials as well. I think we're good. Sean says, I work with many people who have nonprofits and I have great relationship with the older women. I'm going with the older women. I'm going to make something happen, slow and steady. If it's nothing but showing these young girls how to bake a cake, because that's something different. Some of them not going to come, Sean, but that's just an idea. I know you like to cook. I know you like to bake. Maybe y'all have like something Sunday after church or even at the community center. Just show these girls how to bake a cake, because they took home ec out of school. They took mechanics and trial trades and all that shit. They took all that out of school. So show these girls how to bake a cake. She might actually snag a boyfriend worth something. But let's keep going. Appreciate you, Corey Joe. There go the link. nextlevelboysacademy.com. I think everybody just speaking to each other. Jason says, Inshallah, I want to be here when you blow up. Brother, I appreciate it. Inshallah, indeed. Y'all here helping me, man. Y'all my day ones. Y'all been rocking with me, especially after May. Man, especially sitting here last week when I told, how I almost Javante Davis and all that myself. I appreciate y'all. Y'all just make sure y'all share the content for me. Have the discussions. Again, I'm still big on that. I think I had a Cash App come in. That shit is so weird. I really appreciate y'all donating and rocking with me. I want to make sure I acknowledge people. I didn't realize I was supposed to be doing that shit. So Derek Gaines, brother, I thank you for that $5 holla. Greg Wilson, if you're still in here, brother, thank you for the 10 spot. Broken Traditions, thank you for the 5 spot, brother. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, if y'all want to donate, Cash App, PayPal. If not, that's cool. I'm gonna keep on doing the work. Got some more things I want to buy. The studio may look different as I'm getting ready to go on military orders within the next month or so. I think I told y'all that. So things may look different. May not be as fancy or whatnot, and that shit ain't even fancy out there. I got half that shit from TJ Maxx. Anyways, but it look different. But the work is going to continue. We're going to keep having these conversations. May even be a point where I'm just on the phone doing a live, so we may not get the full effect. But as I'm transitioning over the next couple months, I do plan on building a little bit more and getting better. Especially got to get a new camera. But really love you guys. Appreciate you. Again, I'm your host, Kofa, Kofa. Not coffee, not kufu, not